Straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams here today.
Hi, I'm Rupha Ramani and you're watching Firstpost. Now, the rush of all the money, the bidding wars, elation, joy, everything that comes with an Indian Premier League auction is yet to settle in. It's just a day post the auctions that is held in Dubai, and fans of the league and their favorite teams are wondering if they got it all right. Which squads look the best on paper? Now, we've got you covered. Coming up is a lowdown on who went back happy post the auctions and who did not have a very good outing. And can Pakistan and cricket ever stay away from controversies? The biggest one yet has hit them hard with an audio leak that is sure to further damage the ties between its cricket board and the players. Stay on for that. And who are the promising talents that have been scouted and roped into IPL franchises? The kids whose dreams have come true in just a matter of moments, but is testament to the years of struggle and turmoil that they've gone through. You have to stay on to watch this one. But before all of that, let's get you all the headlines from around the world in Sports 360. We'll start with cricket. South Africa beat India by 8 wickets in the ODI match, the second one in fact. Yesterday, India batted first and were bowled out for 211 runs in the 46th over itself. South Africa chased down the total in the 42nd over. Tony Zizorzi scored his maiden ODI century to guide the Proteas to victory. The three-match ODI series is now tied 1-1. England beat the West Indies by 75 runs in yesterday's T20 match. Phil Salt smashed 119 runs for England, almost as if to say, why wasn't he picked at the IPL? Half centuries by captain Jos Buttler and Liam Livingstone also helped England reach the mammoth total of 267 runs. The West Indies batters put up a good fight but were bowled out for 192 in the 15th over. England have recovered from 2 losses and have now tied the 5-match T20 series 2-2. Over in hockey, Germany beat India 3-2 in the men's Five Nations tournament. The Indian team took a lead early with 2 goals in the first quarter. Germany fought back with 3 goals to snatch the win away from India. The Five Nations tournament is being played in Spain. India, Germany, Spain, France and Belgium are the participating nations. And over in the women's Five Nations tournament, Germany beat India 3-1. The German side took a hold of the match early, 2 goals in the first half. In the 34th minute, India scored in an attempt to make a comeback. In the second half, Germany managed to score against India on a penalty corner to seal the win. Pakistan, what's happening in your cricketing world? Now, Pakistan is a country that is equally obsessed with cricket, much like their rivals and neighbours India. The last couple of months have been quite controversial for Pakistan's cricket. It's almost like watching reality TV. Now, if you're an Indian fan of cricket, the controversies that are following Pakistan could make for a much-watched blockbuster script. But if you are a Pakistani fan of cricket, you just want this year to end. And it looks like there was one last shock that was yet to be delivered. And the timing of the recent controversy is going to send ripples across the country. An audio has been leaked on social media. It supposedly features the voice of Pakistan Cricket Board Chairman Zaka Ashraf. Now, Firstpost doesn't verify or claim the authenticity of the audio. However, sources of Pakistan's leading media house have confirmed that the voice, in fact, belongs to Zaka Ashraf. We're just decoding what the leaked audio said. The audio source seems to be a private discussion between Zaka Ashraf and a family member. The voice, which supposedly belongs to Zaka Ashraf, can be heard talking about how the removal of Babar Azam as captain was all planned and prior to the actual resignation itself. Ashraf can be heard saying that Hassan Ali was picked in the team because he is Babar Azam's friend. He further goes on to say that there is a person named Talha Rahmani, the CEO of Saya Corporation, who is extremely close to all the Pakistani players. Ashraf can be heard saying that Talha has become friends with 8 Pakistani players and even meets their families regularly. But why is this a big deal? And why is this leak preposterous to hear? Firstly, Saya Corporation is a player management firm. Top players like Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan and Shaheen Shah Afridi are affiliated with this corporation. This firm was the reason why Pakistan's chief selector Inzamam-ul-Haq had to step down after facing an investigation into conflict of interest allegations. Ashraf says that Saya played a vital role in selecting players for the World Cup and that Babar Azam recruited his close friends. The conversation in the leaked audio clip doesn't end there. Here's what Ashraf said about the captaincy fiasco after Pakistan's exit from the ODI World Cup, and I quote, "I asked Babar to stay on as test captain but told him that I was thinking of removing him as the white ball captain. Babar told me he would consult his family and then convey his decision." Ashraf goes on to say that it was Talha, the CEO of Saya Corporation, who told Babar Azam to step down as captain from all formats. That's big. Here's an excerpt from the leaked audio, a part which I will again quote here. Talha advised him to leave everything. "I had a plan B prepared should such a situation arise, and when Babar told me he was stepping down, I would call him and tell him that you're the captain now." However, it is not clear whether it was Test captain Shan Masood or ODI and T20 captain Shaheen Shah Afridi. Ashraf also says that he likes Mohammad Rizwan and considers him a viable option to lead Pakistan. But Rizwan's association with Talha Rahmani is a sore point for the chief and, in effect, the board. Now, Pakistan is known for having enthusiastic cricket fans, and they were quick to jump onto this leaked audio clip. The majority were, of course, in support of Babar Azam. So where does that leave Pakistan and Pakistan cricket? The leaked audio touches upon the dynamics of the team. The chief of board discussing matters regarding captaincy and how he plans to remove Babar Azam isn't something that should have discussed outside a cricket room. It only adds another layer of controversy. In fact, this itself is something hard to believe and weakens the already fraught relationships that the board seems to be having with each of its players. The team is currently involved in a test series in Australia. They were handed a massive defeat in the first test at Perth. The next one, of course, is starting on the 26th of December. But the unfolding drama surrounding the cricket team is never ending. The best way forward would be for Pakistan cricket officials to stay low, wait for the boys to return home and then hammer out their differences and sort it out for the year ahead. Because right now, everything since the ODI World Cup has only been about controversies rather than victories. The only victim here, of course, is the sport itself. Now, the Indian Premier League making all the noise yesterday despite being a mini auction. Some of the trends that were predicted right here was seen. Australians made most of the money. The post-World Cup honeymoon clearly still going on. Fast bowlers in great demand, as predicted. Some buys that seemed pointless and some more smart than the rest to recover as well. So let's decode how the squads look. How have they shaped up? Who's made the most of the auction? Who's bungled it all up? All right, let's start with the franchise, I think, that came in, ate their snacks and did what they came for and left the building. They clearly were smart with whom they wanted, a good mix of the newsmakers and some young guns and some sentimental picks too. I'm speaking, of course, of the Chennai Super Kings, the winners of the last season. After botching up the last two auctions, CSK definitely got their plan right. What did they do right? They got Rachin Ravindra and Daryl Mitchell, two of the biggest players coming out of the ODI World Cup for just around 15.1 crore Indian rupees. CSK is known to be a frugal team that is fighting the urge and the trend of paying big bucks for the big players. So they do that one massive spend ever so often. It's a pattern that never misses, whether it was Andrew Flintoff back in the day, Deepak Chahar for 15 crores, Ben Stokes, or Mitchell now this time for 14 crore rupees. The only thing though, their big picks didn't deliver the season they were picked in. They'll hope Mitchell comes in all guns blazing for them the next year. Getting Rachin for a steal was a good deal, and then of course bringing back Shardul Thakur for again into their fold, not much strain on the purse as well, a big plus. They bought an exciting young talent in Sameer Rizvi, something they've been excelling in, recognizing good young players like they did with Ruturaj Gaikwad. So with Mitchell firepower in the middle and Rachin as an added spin bowling option, plus Mustafizur's skills as well at Chepauk, it's a strong lineup. Let's go over to the finalists from the last year, Gujarat Titans. Now, it's tough really to fill a void as the one that Hardik Pandya has left behind. But Gujarat surely are struggling a bit. They struggled a bit, in fact, at the start of the auction, seeming to be indecisive with who to really go the distance with. They started bidding big and getting into that war over Harshal Patel and Mitchell Starc, but dropped out. Remember, they needed that foreign and Indian pacers in their lineup. Yet they didn't close out either of those deals. They kind of lost their way initially, but found some ground towards the end by picking up some smart buys like Azmatullah Omarzai for base price, Umesh Yadav to pair up with Mohammad Shami and Mohit Sharma, a quintessential trio, and some Indian uncapped buys like Shah Rukh Khan, who brought them back into the game. That stuck in. They, of course, stuck in to get Spencer Johnson, again an Aussie who garnered enough interest at the auctions to round off a decent day for them. Let's go over to Mumbai Indians then. They were frugal, obviously, going by how much they have splurged to get back Hardik and make him captain. They will be happy with their one big purchase, and that is Gerald Coetzee. The South Africa fast bowler again had a great ODI World Cup, and picking up Dilshan Madhushankar was again a very smart move. Their concern was spin department, someone to aid Piyush Chawla. They've gone with Shreyas Gopal. Not the superstar name, but when it comes to turn, this will have to do. And of course, that slinger, that surprise slinger as well in their midst, who has come in there. And if he gets a game, could be exciting. Over to Lucknow Super Giants, a very quiet auction, no big stunning purchases and not really standing out with too many of their selections. Their most expensive buy, an Indian fast bowler who's had some injury concerns, Shivam Mavi. He's shown promise, but consistency is what is required. I'm particularly excited about the player that they picked up, which is M. Siddharth, a youngster from Tamil Nadu, again a promising player who's one for the future. On to Rajasthan Royals. Now, the trend for most teams in all these auctions is to start slow and then get into a buying frenzy. Rajasthan did that the last auction when they suddenly realized they were one foreign player short and went in for Joe Root. But this time, they picked up their best buy right on the first set. And the very first name, Rovman Powell, going for a decent amount to be a solid purchase for Rajasthan. A great pick for them. And of course, a great youngster as well. Thanks to some of their scouting, they already have the core, Avesh Khan, to boost the bowling department from the trade-off, and they seem to be in a good place. But the question, is their skipper in a good place? Moving on to Bengaluru. They do desperately want to revamp their bowling unit. It's the same old story, and with Alzari Joseph, Yash Dayal, Lockie Ferguson, you'd think that they would tell themselves, not a bad job done, but a bowling unit with Chinnaswamy as the home ground needs that X factor. I don't see that with any of these Starc purchases standing out, particularly in the spin department. I'm guessing that they're going to turn to Karan Sharma and Glenn Maxwell's arm to do some bidding for them in the season to come up. Moving on to Kolkata Knight Riders. What did you do, Knights? Mitchell Starc is good. Yes, I admit the Aussies clearly have been, the pick of the auction, but worth 24.75 crores. Either ways, we all knew they would be very keen on Starc and they had the money for it. What they did do well is make sure the remaining purse was smartly spent on some decent picks like Chetan Sakaria, Mujibur Rahman, who's again going to be key. But there are still some concerns when it comes to the playing 11 and who their foreigners will be that they'll want to look to field. Let's talk of Punjab Kings. Looked busy and buzzing, didn't do too many big buys except for the one that was a great pick for them, Harshal Patel at the start. They'd be happy with that. Some unsuccessful chases during the auction that prompted them to get a little trigger happy with their paddle. They, of course, were quick to come out with a retraction saying that the player that they unfortunately seemed like they didn't want, they actually had it all planned. A quick repartee to cover up the damage that was already done. On paper, they look like a good side. But what's new, you ask? That's been the story of Punjab, a team that's looked good on paper but hasn't really delivered on the field. Last two teams now. Delhi Capitals was the talk of the auction for the presence of their skipper, Rishabh Pant, who looked fit, happy and quite enjoyed lifting the paddle occasionally. Did they come out of this auction reasonably satisfied? I'm not too sure. I think the uncertainty over Pant's availability or the extent of his availability and how much he can contribute on the field probably reflected somewhere in their purchases. Even if he comes in, will it be only as a batter and not a keeper? What else explains stacking up their squad with keepers in droves? Harry Brook was a decent buy, but their biggest concern always remains their Indian core, especially when it comes to the batting and how will they manage that? Now I'll run it off with Sunrisers Hyderabad, making news at the auction table and off it. They splurged all right, and on Pat Cummins. And the only way I see it, the reason why they pushed hard for him was possibly have to do with the captaincy currency that's attached to him. They probably are seeing him to lead in place of an Aiden Markram, who could have been their temporary choice in the first place as captain. Their batting, though, with the addition of Travis Head looks menacing. Henrik Clausen, Glenn Phillips, Travis Head, Aiden Markram. But just a question, how many of these they can actually field in the 11? Their one solid buy was Hasaranga at base price, a killer deal there. But again, how will they field all these players in their 11? What's got me excited though about their purchase, they've bought Jataved, a young spinner, very unassuming, and he could be very key if he gets a chance. They were mighty pleased with their auction, but guess who was not? David Warner, former Hyderabad captain who in fact led them to their title win in 2016, suddenly realized he had been blocked by the franchise on the social media handles. He couldn't tag them on any of his posts. But jokes aside, that's how the squads are shaping up. Not too many surprises and a few predictable misses. And I caught up with former India cricketer, former Chennai Super Kings member and commentator Irfan Pathan to review how that IPL auction went. So catch his top picks from the auction. What does he think of Hardik Pandya's move to Mumbai Indians? Is IPL 2024 going to be MS Dhoni's last? And which teams did well at the auction table? Catch all of that on our platform here. From who got it right at the IPL auction, we turn to uncapped players who have made their entry into the biggest T20 league. There were 35 newcomers waiting to get picked up by an IPL team, and 9 of them made the final cut. For young cricketers in India, making it to the IPL means you've been given the platform to show your skills and talent at the global stage. You'll be playing with and against the biggest names in cricket. And millions, if not billions of cricket fans will have their eyes on you. Yes, the task is daunting, but for some, it's a dream come true. And fortunes turned in favor for some of cricketers last night. Yesterday's auction is full of players from humble beginnings who have joined the upper echelons of T20 cricket. The most expensive uncapped player was Sameer Rizvi, who will join Chennai Super Kings for over $1 million. He just finished his 10th grade and will now play under legendary MS Dhoni. Then there's Shubham Dubey. He hails from a humble background. Growing up, Dubey had to struggle to even buy gloves or even a cricket kit. Not a problem anymore, as he will be seen in the colours of Rajasthan Royals. Another inspiring story is of Robin Mins. Mins is the first cricketer from the tribal areas of Jharkhand to make it this far. The wicketkeeper batter has bagged a hefty contract from Gujarat Titans. IPL has become a dream for Indian uncapped players, for whom the league provides the perfect platform to launch into the international stage. Here's the story of some of the players whose lives have changed overnight.
The bidding wars at the IPL 2024 auction were unlike anything we'd seen before. Mitchell Starc broke the IPL auction for the most expensive player ever. He will be seen in the colours of Kolkata Knight Riders next year. Starc's purchase almost overshadowed some of the other purchases, especially of the uncapped Indian players. Their stories are not just inspirational, but capture the spirit of the sport and the league, which is anyone can play cricket, no matter who you are or what your background is. Sameer Rizvi is a 20-year-old right-hand batter from Uttar Pradesh. He spent his young years only focusing on cricket, even to the point where he just completed his 10th grade. Rizvi made his debut in 2020 for Madhya Pradesh. After a rocky start, he decided to play for his home state. Rizvi is now considered one of the finest players in short format cricket. He's even called as a right-hand version of IPL legend Suresh Raina. And Rizvi was the most expensive uncapped player at the auction. He will join the Chennai Super Kings and will be guided by Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Then there are the Tamil Nadu boys, Shah Rukh Khan and M. Siddharth. Shah Rukh is a trusted finisher and a capable spin bowler. He's previously played with Punjab Kings but had become a free agent after being released. Gujarat Titans were quick to pick up the finisher. Shah Rukh is known for hitting the ball long. He's also shown that when playing in Tamil Nadu T20 matches as well. The other uncapped player from Tamil Nadu to get picked was M. Siddharth. Siddharth is a left-hand spinner and he took the auction by storm. He has previously been a net bowler for Chennai Super Kings, but his true performance was seen in the Tamil Nadu Premier League. Siddharth will now wear the colours of the Lucknow Super Giants. The stories of Shahrukh, Siddharth and Jataved too show the impressive talent that is being generated from the state of Tamil Nadu. There are two players who come from humble backgrounds and have made it to the big stage: Robin Mins and Shubham Dubey. Mins has never made his first-class debut, but his performances have helped Jharkhand win the Under-19 and Under-25 tournaments. Mins hails from the same state as Mahendra Singh Dhoni and idolizes him. That's one of the reasons he also took up wicket-keeping. His talents were spotted by his father, a retired army man who works as a security guard, and it looks like his father's keen eye paid off. Mins has been picked up by Gujarat Titans. He's also the first tribal cricketer to feature in the IPL. The next player will also leave you in awe. Shubham Dubey has been picked up by the Rajasthan Royals. He comes from a humble background. His father runs a small cart shop selling mouth fresheners. In fact, almost a decade back, Dubey did not even have the money to buy gloves, a bat and a cricket kit. But that did not stop him. He showed his talent in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, and now the left-hand batter will play in the IPL. Just like Robin Mins, there's another wicket-keeper batter from Jharkhand making headlines. Kumar Kushagra is a 19-year-old who will be joining the Delhi Capitals. He's living his father's dream. Kushagra's father had built a library for his son filled with just cricket books. The dream was to teach his son the technicalities of the game. And it looks like that has paid off. The father-son duo's perseverance and commitment will be seen in the Indian Premier League. The stories of the Indian uncapped players making it big at the IPL auction is a great news for cricket.
We're down to last serve on the show. The Indian Premier League, of course, is the flavour of this week. So before we wrap up, we thought of getting you the one man who gets the loudest cheers come IPL. Considering that's where he's seen on the field, the legendary Super King is spending New Year's in Dubai, and giving him company for some fun on the sidelines away from the auction was his biggest fan and, of course, his disciple, captain of the Delhi Capitals, Rishabh Pant. Take a look. All right, soon enough, both of them will be facing each other on opposite camps come the Indian Premier League. But that's all the time we have here on Firstpost. Thank you so much for joining in. Do, of course, catch Irfan Pathan's exclusive interview right here on Firstpost. But till then, of course, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.